So welcome to 40 and Shameless, the Facebook group for 40 and beyond who are ready to surrender their shame, to live shamelessly authentic, making the next half the best half. And today's topic is shadow work. What we'll cover is what is shadow work and the 4 key pieces when doing your shadow work that'll pretty much make you or break you, because it can get intense. So first off, what is shadow work? Shadow work is basically also your inner work, really going in, going deep. It's what's going on in the subconscious part of the brain, okay? It's the part that usually runs the show a lot of the time when we're living unconsciously and we're not aware. So you can have a reaction to a situation. Your reaction is usually a subconscious reaction that is underneath, and that's the shadow. That's deep within. And a lot of the time, most of the time, it's pieces that are not serving you. So your shadow is that ego aspect, the subconscious, that is usually not serving you. Now, it's serving you on some level, and it has served you, let's say, as a child, but it's no longer serving you now. So, for example, going into symptoms of shame, people pleasing. As a child, you would people please in order to survive, okay? In order to get past whatever's going on. It was a survival and mechanism, and it helped you when you were younger. However, now you still have in the subconscious this fear of, oh my God, I need to people please. And you may not be using those words exactly in your subconscious and inside, but I need to make sure I'm okay because of X, Y, Z. I won't be loved. I'll be left. I'll be abandoned. There's so many reasons behind it and the wording behind it. At the bottom of it, it's all shame, feeling small. However, the story then from there is very specific to each individual and exactly what's being triggered. So doing that inner work, it's that really that space deep inside, and it can be dark. Why they call it shadow work, because when you're going through it, you're going down deep to the feelings and the emotions and the thoughts and the beliefs that are really all yucky and deep inside. A majority of them you've buried, you ignore, you act as if they don't exist, right? It's, a lot of times we have a certain feeling or a certain fear, yet we override it and do whatever it is that we got to do anyways, right? Which is great on some level. At the same time, it's also taking the time and the space to step into that fear that you were feeling. Where is it coming from? What is it? What does it feel like? Right? Doing your shadow work is really digging deep to see and to recognize what is running your show. Because a lot of what we do is not even conscious. I don't even know a percent at this point. And with everyone, it is a little different. But even as a planet and overall, I don't even know what percentage of us or what percentage of us actually lives consciously, even aware of the thoughts, everything within us. A lot of times people will spiritually bypass their shame, their fears, their shadow, right? Always meditating. Now, meditating is an awesome thing. It's also, though, being aware, excuse me, of what's going on. Like, are you trying to bypass this physical reality, this human life, right? Having the shadow is part of being human. It's part of our human experience, okay? The ego, the subconscious, all of that, it's part of our human experience. And we are here as souls to have a human experience, not just run away from this earth, run away from being human, run away from being human, from other humans, right? We do a lot of running away, a lot of distraction as well. Because it's important to actually see what's there in order to then release it, okay? So that's a little rundown on what shadow work is. 4 key pieces in doing your shadow work. 1, and it's so important, they're all important, judgment. Judgment free. Because one of the reasons why it could be so scary is because of judgment, self-judgment. You know, we don't have someone else right now to judge us, so we would judge ourselves, right? In the back of our heads, oh, this or oh, that, or, you know, I can't believe this, or I can't feel like this, or I can't be angry at this, or I can't be, this is selfish, and this is this, and this is that. And I get it, because yeah, it's not pleasant. It's just, it doesn't mean that's who you are. It's a pain that you have from, majority of the time, it's childhood. But good chunk of it is under the ages of 7 and 8. There is more like afterwards as well. However, majority of it is under that age, maybe 9, around there. Everything after that is almost like confirmation of whatever happened under the ages of 8, 9. It becomes like confirmation. So let's say at 4, I'm not good enough. And then at 14, a situation occurs and it's like, oh yeah, that's right, I'm not good enough. So it solidifies what you believed prior. So you want to let go of judging yourself, okay? It doesn't define you. It's not who you are, and you are human, okay? What's inside of you is just not all self-created and is not personal just to you. It's society. It's the way we've been raised. Generation to generation, not blaming just one generation. There's a whole slew of why it's there and where it's coming from, okay? So letting go of that judgment, letting go of shaming yourself for feeling a certain way. As soon as you can acknowledge and feel and allow yourself the permission to not be shamed and to just be with it, makes a world of a difference. It's like a child that has a ridiculous thought, like, I'm not good enough, or has a selfish thought, or an envious thought. So that is disempowering. It's not serving at all. However, they do exist within us. Do you scold them? Do you shame them? Or do you teach them? Right? So you may have an envious thought going on within you, and it's acknowledging that's there. And then by acknowledging that it's there, you can go deeper into it, right? So by letting go of judgment and shaming yourself, you could actually discover so much more of what's inside, of what's in there for you to discover in order to release, to no longer run the show. The next piece is allowing, letting go of control. That's a key. Letting go of control. In other words, it's also letting go of resistance. So when you're doing your shadow work, if you let go of control and allow it to be, allow it to arise, the quicker you will release it. Okay? And you want to look at, why aren't I allowing this to release? Why am I resisting this? And if you start journaling this kind of stuff, you'll also discover other little key pieces that arise. Okay? And also with the resistance, that's what makes it painful, is when we resist. That's what actually makes it even more painful, a lot more painful. If we allow opposed to resist, a lot of the pain of shadow work and inner work starts to dissipate. It starts to calm. Okay? So remember, and also where resist persists. Always remember that, because that is so bang on and so true. Another piece is loving yourself. Loving yourself during this. Loving what arises. So if you're not judging, if you're allowing, and you're giving that piece that wants to show up love, right? You'll end up with far more success in releasing whatever is going on and healing whatever it is going on within. You want to have compassion for yourself, right? Not judging yourself is having compassion for yourself. Okay? Another piece I want to add, oh, and also remember, it's also that little child within you that has this pain, that has this belief, that has all this. So it's loving yourself is also loving that little child within you, the one that most likely didn't get any love when they went through XYZ, or when they were feeling this or feeling that. Right? Because it's, oh no, what are you crying for? I know I used to get that. What are you crying for? I want to give you something to cry about? I know many people who got that one. So it wasn't okay to be in emotions, right? It wasn't okay to be heard. It wasn't okay to express, right? So even that little child within, love him, her, female group, her, and all of that. Next, no distractions. No distractions is key. And I'm talking not even reading a book, TV, nothing. A lot of times when I do my shadow work, when I'm ready to say, okay, you know what, it's here, I have no choice, it's knocking on my door kind of thing. Because a lot of times I will distract myself as well still. And then there's a point where it's like, oh, okay, no, I gotta stop. And I'll either just go in my bedroom, lie down fetal position, because I love it, with my body pillow, because that's my comfort, and just sit with it and just feel what is going on, feel what's coming up. Or I'll sit up like in meditative pose and just be with what's coming up without any judgment, allowing myself to see and observe what's going on and what is coming up. You know, this is where a lot of mindfulness comes in. Practicing your mindfulness, very important. It allows you to be present and mindful of what's going on and what's arising without the judgment, giving yourself the space without controlling it, doing it with compassion and love for yourself, and with no distractions. Really being present with what's there. That's a key piece. And shadow work may arise at any moment. So those are the 4 pieces. Shadow work can arise at any moment. It's not one particular moment that, or a specific time. A lot of times though, it will show up for you to release in between sessions. Whether you're getting coaching sessions, energy work, whatever type of work you might be doing with either myself or someone else, in between your sessions or after your sessions, things are going to arise. The shadow is going to come up to show itself, to show you what needs to be released. Okay? That's going to need to be looked at. That's one thing I find many practitioners forget, is how to teach their clients or share with their clients what to do after the sessions. Okay? Sometimes it's even before the sessions. Like what I've discovered is when I make an appointment to do some energy work, a lot of the times as soon as I make the appointment, what needs to arise and be healed during that session will actually start to release before I even get to the session. There's been times where I did majority of the releasing before the session, that at the session I barely felt anything. It was quite interesting. That was my first experience like that. I actually booked myself a session to try elemental energy work on the 29th of August. And I booked it yesterday. And yesterday, ooh, my shadow stuff started coming out. It started coming. So now I already know. I already know what is ready to be released, was ready to come out, what I'm going to talk to her about. Because I didn't have an exact plan on why I was going with her. Now I know. And yeah, so it happens sometimes even before your sessions. So it's something you want to be aware of and be present to at all times. What else can I share? And it's getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. It's not comfortable. And in life, it's like we have this belief where we've been conditioned that everything needs to be comfortable. Oh, and comfort this and comfort that. That everything needs to be pleasant and let's just stay positive, right? Everything has to be wonderful that way. Now, it doesn't mean, you know, hang around miserable people hour after hour after hour after hour, because that will drop you on your ass. I know, I used to think I could handle certain things, and I used to take on and thinking, oh no, I can, you know. But if you ever heard of the story about the frog in the pot, you put a frog in boiling water, it'll jump right out. You put a frog in just lukewarm water on the stove and put the heat up just so very slightly, so it slowly starts to get hotter and hotter to the point of boil. Frog's done. Okay? So I used to enjoy putting myself in situations where I didn't realize. I used to think, oh, I can do this, I can handle it. And although, yes, I was great at that moment, eventually, it doesn't matter how strong you are, doesn't matter where you are. Eventually, if you're in the wrong conditions, you will drop. It will bring you down no matter how much you try. So besides those times, it's getting comfortable with the uncomfortable, and it's getting uncomfortable with your uncomfortable emotions and sensations within your body, because that's all it really is. It's a sensation, right? Your emotions, energy, emotion, it gives you a sensation in your body. So getting comfortable with the uncomfortable is actually quite important. That's a big piece right there. Is that. So for today, we went over what is shadow work, the 4 key pieces of shadow work, how important it is to do it between your sessions and before your sessions if it arises, and getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. If you are ready to dive deeper into surrendering your shame to live shamelessly authentic, making the next half your best half, you are welcome to book a free strategy call with me. The link, you'll find it up in the bio section, or you can message me and I'll send you the link. Till next time, have a shamelessly fun day.